Okay. All right. Welcome, everyone. Once again, we've been chatting a little bit, just waiting for people to show up. I am Dr. Luna, and I'm really excited to have you all here for this Reiki training pilot program. And we're going to get to journey together and ask questions and explore and learn and grow together. And my ultimate intention is to be able to offer Reiki healing services to a larger community, to the public, for a reduced cost or for free or for some kind of, option for people to be able to access it that might not have access to healing services. That's the ultimate goal. But the reason why I'm doing the Reiki training clinic in this way is because in order for us to offer these kind of healing services to the community, I want us to make sure that we have a solid foundation of training and ethical guidelines and professionalism and really taking time to work on ourselves. So there's a lot of little components that I think are important for us to be able to say, okay, I'm ready to offer to the public. And I think that there's not, we get the practitioner training program and then we maybe just kind of forget about it, or maybe don't learn a whole lot about taking time to work on ourselves. The trainings are so varied that I think for me, what I found is having a little bit more support, a little bit more foundation, a little bit more intention, a little bit more opportunity for training so that we can have more confidence to know, well, what do I do in this situation with this particular person? How do I approach this particular client or person, or what all the things that come up with when we're practicing Reiki. So I do want to give everybody a chance to get to know each other, but I want to talk about several things. So we will have time a little bit later to introduce ourselves, but I do want to go through a little bit of a presentation here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and see if I can share my screen.
The professor in you.
I know, it is.
It's good. It's good.
I was going to say, you look excited, Anna.
Thank you. I am. I've been planning this for actually longer than a year before I even started talking about it. So I'm just really happy. Part of what made this a reality is actually Mary and I starting the Reiki share that we've been having every month, twice a week for like 2 years. And through the last couple of years of us doing that, I started to realize more and more that people need more training and they need more opportunities for training. So it just kind of pushed me a little bit deeper into finally offering this experience. So I'm really happy. And I hope too that it inspires you in your Reiki practice and to give yourself an opening. The sky is the limit when it comes to your Reiki practice. So really think about what it is that you're wanting to create. What do you want to do with Reiki? What are your intentions around Reiki? Do you want to have a business with it? Are you just wanting to learn more about yourself? Are you just wanting to offer healing to your family? Like, what do you want to do? Because the sky is the limit, and it's important for you to set some intentions because that'll help drive you in the direction that you want to take. So think about it. I am gonna show you the responses to the survey, so you'll get to see what you wrote in terms of your goals and your intentions and things like that. And part of it for me is being authentic. So authenticity is really important to me. Integrity is really important to me. If you don't know, I'm a counseling psychologist. I have a PhD in counseling psychology, and I have a master's in psychology and a bachelor's in psychology. And of course, being a psychologist, there's a high degree of professionalism and ethical training when we're working with people. There's a lot of sensitive issues that come up. So even like the basics of confidentiality and keeping what people share with you confidential, right? Because you want to have the people that come to you need to be able to trust you. They're going to be sharing things with you, or they might be, you're tapping into their energy field. And that's very sensitive and very intimate, right? So we want to be really aware and conscientious of what that means and what that looks like and what we're doing, and whether or not we're crossing barriers and boundaries that maybe we shouldn't be crossing, right? So these are all things that are important. Aside from my training as a psychologist, I'm trained as a shamanic practitioner. I'm trained as a Reiki practitioner, Reiki Master. I've gone through many different initiations and training and years of practice, years of teaching Reiki. Of course, teaching psychology as well. So I've done a lot of training for teaching and research as a clinician, and my training just continues. So that's another really foundational piece that I want to emphasize for all of you, is that self-growth aspect, that self-insight, that self-development aspect is really, really important, as well as healers, right? We're working with people, we're wanting to help ourselves heal and help others heal, but we have to continuously reflect on ourselves and do our part to work on ourselves. And when we work on other people, we're going to see ourselves in the work that we do with others. We're going to see ourselves in the people that we work with. We'll probably see, it's similar issues of what we're dealing with the people that we're working with. So we need to identify, is this a projection? Am I just projecting my stuff, or is this really what the person is dealing with, right? So there's all kinds of nuances. I'm also trained as a yoga teacher, so I'm a 500-hour registered yoga teacher. Been practicing yoga for around 20 years. I'm also right now training as an Ayurvedic practitioner. So I'm learning Ayurveda along with yoga and, the aspects of nutrition and eating well and taking care of our bodies and all that comes with that. So I have lots and lots of training, and I want to offer it to others as much as I can, and create a really beautiful opportunity for all of us to learn more and go deeper in ourselves and in our practice. So that's kind of part of why I'm doing this. So to share a little bit about the Sanctuary. So the Sanctuary is a nonprofit that I founded in 2020. And it's Luna y Sol Sanctuary. It's a 501c3 nonprofit. And the mission of the nonprofit is to offer healing services for underserved communities. So in essence, part of creating this clinic is to be able to offer those healing services to underserved communities, or just to communities that may not have access to this kind of complementary or alternative healing modality. So I want to create opportunities for people to have access to it and provide education and training. And then, of course, like I said before I started recording, that if I'm going to offer that, I want to make sure that the practitioners that I have on my team have a foundation of training that is in alignment with, high ethical values, like I mentioned, high integrity, this commitment to personal development. And some of this is going to unfold throughout the program. So I don't have all the answers. It's not like I don't have everything set, but through this training and your support and us working together, this is my hope, to create a solid training program for more people to be able to come and obtain this kind of experience and opportunity. So I'm really relying on all of you for the feedback component as we put together the different parts. It's going to be all of us really co-creating this together. So your feedback is really important to me. So kind of mention some of this, the mission is offer healing services to underserved populations. Another intention of this clinic is to create deeper training opportunities for Reiki practitioners, which I talked about a little bit. to create a service-centered community. So really focusing on offering services, and for us to have opportunities to think about what does that really look like? What is the exchange that's required? What feels good to us right now? How does that evolve over time, as we were kind of talking about in the beginning? Of course, to offer more healing to the world, that's always important, right? We're going to feed into the collective consciousness. Everything that we're doing with Reiki, it's going to support the collective consciousness and the healing of the planet and the healing of the universe. We're tapping into this universal life force energy. We're calling it in from the cosmos and bringing it down through our physical bodies, through our innate healing abilities, so that we can be a light for others that need this light, especially right now, right? Right now, we're living through what I see as some kind of dark times in a way, but it's also a really vast opportunity for us to shine our light. So the next point that I have is to create a pathway for self-healing as key importance. So like I was mentioning a few minutes ago, that self-healing component is really important. Sometimes I've met people that are working with energy that really haven't taken the time, and it's obvious, we can see, you might have met some people like that haven't really taken the time for their self-healing. So this is really, really important. And I'm making space, and I hope you make space to do that for yourself throughout this program. Create a pathway for self-healing, because there's always layers. I mean, I've been doing this kind of work in service of others for, close to 20 years. And there's just so many layers. When we heal one thing and we think we're good, and then something else happens and it's like, oh, there is that thing again in my face. So I get to go down a little deeper, dig that out and clear that. And then, I'm on my way for a little while and everything's great. And then another thing happens. So that's just been my experience. I don't know if others have had that experience, but the self-healing component is really important, that we can self-reflect, take time for ourselves when we're not feeling okay. It's probably a good idea to not be working on others, right? Probably not a good idea. Even though somebody might ask us or they might need us, we need to be able to discern and say, you know what, it's not a good time for me to work with you. Here's another person, here's another place. This person might be able to work with you, right? So this is kind of another thing that I want to offer, is a community. So when you need support and you're not available as a healer, that you have this community and say, hey, Mary, I really need some healing right now. Can you help me? Right? Or Carla, I need some healing. I can't do it myself right now. Can you help me out? Right. So we need to have a community of people to help each other when we're going through something difficult, and honor that time that we need for self-healing.
I second that. I've had to reach out a few times.
Yeah, it's important. And we need that team, that community. And like some of you, a lot of you said actually that you don't have that community. You don't have people in your lives that are into Reiki. That one of you said that they think Reiki is weird. So we need to be in this together, where we're, like-minded people, and we can say, hey, I need some help, or hey, my family needs some help. Let's get together and set the intention to support you through difficult times. Next point, I have bridging healing for others and doing it from the highest level of regard and professionalism. So again, just highlighting these, like I just was talking about it, bridging healing for others, and really having this high, from the highest possible place, the highest vibrational place that we can tap into. And to do that, we have to set that intention. And more, we have to set that intention to call in the purest form of energy that is available to us in the moment. This is just so important right now. And then I know I have more intentions, but this is kind of just where I started for today. Creating an ethical and professional code of conduct for Reiki energy practitioners and offering well-trained Reiki healers to the community, right? So that trust, I want to be able to say that I trust Alex is going to, Alex has a solid foundational training. I know I can trust him to refer this person to him because he has XYZ training, right? So I want us to have that confidence in each other and create that trustworthy community. Because it's like, I mean, I don't know if some of you have seen even people's websites and practicing energy healing or charging a lot of money for it. And it's kind of, there's always an energy, right? We get an energy. What's the vibration that we get? And sometimes when I see people's things, something feels off. It doesn't feel right. Something just like sometimes there's what I call energy vampires out there. And those are the people that I don't want to receive healing from necessarily, right? So yeah, I'm just gonna say that much about that right now. Okay, so those are my intentions, and I do want you to think about your intentions with this program and what it is that you want to get out of it, and let me know, because we'll create that opportunity for us to do this process. I want to put this up just really briefly, a Reiki from an Indigenous framework. And the reason why I'm putting this up here is because the sanctuary, the way that I designed it, and my team and the board of directors, we're all Indigenous practitioners, we're all Indigenous healers. And so part of the vision with the sanctuary was to offer services from an Indigenous centered paradigm. And for right now, what that means is just looking at the mind, the body, the soul, and the spirit as all interconnected with each other and interrelated with each other. So that's kind of just the simplest way for me to put it right now, just so you get a sense of what that means, is that we are all connected to each other. We are all related to each other in some way, shape, or form as humans, right? We're all related to each other. We're all connected to each other. There's this concept in Lakesh Halaken that comes from, well, they say it comes from Mayan culture, but I kind of don't think that's true. But I just like this concept. It translates to, you are my other me. Tú eres mi otro yo. And if we can think about ourselves in that way, if more of us can think of ourselves in that way, I think the world would be a better place, right? If I think you are my other me, you are a part of me, you are my reflection, then I'm gonna want to treat you like I treat myself, right? I'm gonna want to honor you and respect you and appreciate you the way that I do that to myself. And if I'm not doing that, if I'm not honoring you and I'm not respecting you, that means that I'm not honoring and I'm not respecting me, right? That's the mirror, that's the reflection. So when it comes from an Indigenous framework, it's this connection that we have to each other. It's the connection that we have to nature, honoring nature, honoring the elements, honoring the energy that is all around us and acknowledging those elements that are around us. So that's kind of related to Reiki in this way, that there's this higher source of energy that's available to us. And we can tap into it, we can invite it in, and we need to honor it. We need to respect it and respect ourselves when we use it. Those are some of the things that are coming to me right now with the medicine wheel. With the medicine wheel, it's the mind, it's the body, it's the soul. The soul is in reference to our emotions and our soul experiences. So we carry, our soul is what we carry from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime. and it also carries our emotional experiences. And so, this is where we have to look at some of the challenges that we experience on an emotional level as potentially coming from previous lifetimes, or even generational things like generational trauma, historical trauma, that we need to work to heal those things. And then that relates to our body and how these emotions manifest in our body. And then that relates to our mind and how we think about ourselves and how we think about our emotions, how we think about our body. And then this is all connected to spirit, so source. There's a lot more to it, but I just wanted to mention this, like this kind of larger interconnected frame of reference, and honoring the elements as part of what we do. And I'll probably go more into that later at different times, but just to get a little sense of this framework and Indigenous framework, and also it's that service component. I think that's also part of an Indigenous framework, giving back. We're giving usually more than what we're receiving, but the goal is to have a balance, between what we're giving and what we're receiving, and also between these different elements, the mind, body, soul, and spirit, and nature. So nature is, we can talk about the directions, north, east, south, and west. We can talk about fire, air, earth, and water. Those are the elements. So I'll just stop right there, because I could probably talk about that for a while. Okay, so these are some of the things that you all talked about in the survey, which I thought was interesting. So I want to share these with you. So I asked you a lot of questions, and I know some of you said it was, took a lot of thought and really good questions. So I'm glad. But these are some of the things that you said you wanted to work on. So number one, it's not in any order. It's just, I just put it in the order that it came in. So these were self-healing goals that you all had: to improve my skills and focus on my healing. So you might recognize your answer. To continue to learn and grow through Reiki, to reduce negative feelings, energies, thoughts, to reduce pain, increase energy and agency. I really like that part, agency. It's like, I think about that as empowerment and mastery over ourselves, and to learn to be whom I need to be. I really like that. I'd like to feel the Reiki energy. So sometimes when we're new practitioners, we don't quite feel the Reiki energy. So yes, definitely important. But it doesn't mean it's not working. So you'll get to see. To release blocks to help heal myself and heal others, heal my central nervous system, depression, anxiety, more chi flow, open channel for pure love, and remove chakra blockages. Create the best life experience on all three levels, mind, body, and spirit. Yes, absolutely. And then weight loss. Yes, I think that's a good one too. Interesting. And we'll get to talk about too, like how we can set intentions around specific goals that we have, and you using Reiki and Reiki grids to be able to offer that for yourselves, putting energy into it. I'm going to pause in a minute just to see if you have any comments. Reiki practitioner goals, that's kind of small. Let's see, I don't know if I can make it bigger. Somebody taught me how to do this. If you do Command plus, it automatically makes it bigger. It's still kind of small, but so the previous one was self-healing goals, and these are Reiki practitioner goals, which a little bit different. Let me see. I can't fully read it now though, because it's too big. Just a second. Now, how do you make it smaller? Is it minus? I don't know. Okay. So Reiki practitioner goals to encourage others to benefit from Reiki and support them in their self-healing journey through a simple and effective method of touch and symbol energy manifestation. Great response. To improve my skills and heal for others, to awaken my psychic abilities, to help others, continued growth and knowledge, to share the connection with others, to become a better person. I'd like to enhance my ability to call on my spirit to help me get messages or see what I need to see in my mind's eye. While giving Reiki to others, I feel the energy coming from my hands. I see energy in my mind's eye. I would like to give feedback to the person receiving Reiki. So we'll get to do those things through this program. Be in service, help heal. I would like for others to feel connected to myself, others on the planet, to master my energy and how to maintain a controlled energy magician. Be the best person I can be, mind, body, and spirit as I'm in service to helping others. Yes, I love all of that. Okay, so one more and then I'm going to pause with this. Okay, so some more learning objectives. So kind of what you all said that you wanted to, where you wanted to grow. To be a stronger Reiki practitioner, to increase my circle of Reiki friends, learn how to help others in different ways, enhance my Reiki abilities and skills, to be at service, learn how to give attunements so I can heal myself and also heal others. So the attunements, you learn how to do that in the master class. So if you're not yet a master, I know some of you are and some of you are not, but if you want to learn how to give attunements, you need to take the master class. More energy technologies and healing tools, and participating in the clinic will allow me to be exposed to different and more frequent Reiki healing and sharing sessions than I would normally do. This will allow me to gain a deeper understanding of the uses of Reiki and be able to be of more service to others. So yes, I love that. Okay, so I have a few more slides that I want to go over, but I do want to pause and tell you a little bit about what we're going to be doing over the next month. So, okay, so I set out several phases of the pilot program, and this first phase is really having opportunity to practice with each other and practice with ourselves. So between now and the next time we meet, so we're only going to meet once a month. So, so we'll have time in between to do the things. It's going to be up to you to do the things. I'm not going to be chasing you down. Hey, did you do self-practice? No. you're committing to yourself and doing that for yourself. But I do have something I'm going to share with you to help you. For this first month, what we're going to do is offer ourselves time for self-Reiki practice. And then in the next month after that, I'm going to pair you. I'll be pairing you anyways. I'll be pairing you with another person in this group. And the two of you are going to meet and figure out when you're going to share Reiki with each other. Okay. So for this first month, my goal for all of you is to offer yourselves 10 hours of self-Reiki practice. Right? It's not that much, 10 hours. It's really not that much. And you can split it up however you want. It's up to you between now and our next meeting. And then in the meantime, I'm going to be pairing you with another person, and you will give 10 hours of Reiki to this other person, and you will receive 10 hours of Reiki from the other person, right? So it's going to be 20 hours total, but you'll have a couple months to complete all of that. And it'll be up to you. It'll be on your schedule, but I will be giving you suggestions about different ways to do the sessions, right? How do you start a session? How do you end a session? How long? Like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour? Right? So there's some parameters, and there's different ways to do a distance healing session, right? So if you're not familiar yet, or if you haven't practiced it yet, You can do it with a doll. You can do it with a picture. You can do it with writing down a name of a person on a piece of paper. You can do it by you being the stand-in for it. You can do it just with your mind, just thinking of the person and sending it in their direction. So I'm gonna offer you different ways to practice, and then you're gonna give each other feedback on that. Carla, you're asking me what is 10 hours? So 10 hours of practicing on yourself. 10 hours. Yeah, so the first round, this first month, you're going to practice 10 hours on yourself. And I'm going to share with you, this is what I want to share. Can you see this?
Yes.
Okay, it's a Reiki log. So this is going to be your weekly Reiki log, how you're going to track the hours that you're practicing on yourself. So over the next month, every week, you're going to fill this out. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And so you'll put the time that you're practicing, how long you were practicing, and then you're going to write down, what did you feel? What were your sensations, feelings, observations? So you're going to start tracking your own self Reiki practice and how you're experiencing Reiki, right? What are the benefits? I know some of you said in the feedback that you haven't really practiced a lot on yourself. And one of your reasons, actually a few of you said, you just don't make it a priority. Right? So this group and program is going to allow you space to make it a priority, right? And of course, like, I mean, how much can I track you down? I mean, you're not going to fail if you don't do this, but but it's, you know, it's your commitment to yourself, right? And you growing and you wanting to grow and you wanting to learn and you wanting to be of greater service to your community, then you need to do this for yourself. Then you need to practice on yourself and see what it's like, right? Because I mean, just like for me as a psychologist, I have to know what it feels like to be on the client side, right? There's some therapists, I know I've talked to trainees that they've been told that they don't have to be in the client seat. And that just doesn't make any sense because, you know, we're doing therapy with others. And if we don't know what it's like to be on the client side, how can we empathize? I think it's kind of hard. I mean, because unless you've been the client, you don't know what it's like to be the client. And how can you bring comfort to your clients and how can they trust you? How can you speak from experience? You really can't. Right? So this is going to be I'm going to send this to all of you. And then it's just a little space for notes and your own healing intentions for the week. What do you want to work on? For example, if you're dealing with anxiety, you want to reduce anxiety, or if you want to increase relaxation, or if it's weight loss, right? If your intention is weight loss, putting that intention there and putting Reiki around that, because as you do that, you'll be able to see how do you make choices, right? Even with weight loss, how are you approaching food and nutrition and exercise, right? So like the medicine wheel, right? The body. What are we putting into our body? Are we exercising? What are we eating? Well, maybe we're not losing weight because we keep eating, you know, hamburgers or taquitos or whatever. So I'm going to share this log with you to help you track and log your hours. So the beauty of this too is that you'll get to know exactly how many hours you worked on yourself, right? So I'm only asking for you to do 10 hours this first month, which if you do, you can split that up through 30 days, or you could do, you know, an hour, 5 days a week, or 30 minutes, 5 days a week, however you want to do it. I'll leave that up to you. And then when we meet next time, we're going to talk about how did that go. So this is where we use this space for reflections. What are the barriers? What were the obstacles? what was helpful, what was not helpful, what were distractions, things like that. And we'll talk more about like, how do you start a session? You know, like in the Reiki shares, you know, clearing the space, having a space for your own self-healing, clearing the space, and then closing the space at the end of that. So approaching the whole experience as sacred, as a sacred experience.
So,
Yes.
so just before we lose the log, so do you want us to submit this back to you? Is this a Google form? I'm getting very practical here, so tactical.
You know what? It's not a Google form, but that's a good idea. I'm open to ideas and suggestions. I was actually kind of thinking to have you all submit it just for accountability purposes, for nothing else really other than accountability purposes. So I'm open to hearing your thoughts on it.
I know. So one of the things I do is I don't necessarily, well, I have an app, so it logs my time, but I also use my phone. I use the notes part, and I will put like a daily, like the date and so like what came up, like, or at least a thought that came up. And, you know, so would that be acceptable if I just like I could just send you that in an email or something?
That's nice too. But I think your Google form idea is kind of a good idea, just so it's easily logged in one place. But I like, what app are you using? Because that might be helpful for the group.
Oh, I use Insight Timer.
Insight Timer. Can you put it in the chat for us?
Sure.
Just so we have, because I think part of it too is creating resources for each other. Right? Like I like the Pamela Miles Reiki timer. I don't know if any of you are familiar with her app. So that's another resource. So I'm going to put that in the chat just for all of you. Because the app helps us to keep track of how long we're doing Reiki. And it has a nice background music. So you have a little bit of music, it gives you a timer, you can set it, and that way you don't have to think about the time frame. Okay. So Insight Timer. Cool.
And I was gonna, excuse me, mention that you were just talking about the importance of sealing a space and clearing the space beforehand. I found that the Reiki is so much stronger when I've prepared the space beforehand, when I have the right energy. You know, it's not like, oh, it's 3 o'clock, I'm supposed to send energy right now. You know, oh, well, okay, and go. You know, I have to be ready for it, and I have to feel grounded, and clearing the space and setting my intentions for it just makes a really big difference.
Mm-hmm. It does. And I've done it both ways, where I forget and then I end up having to deal with energy that is not so pleasant. So then I have to do more clearing than I would have had to do if I had just set the space in the first place. So because when we're working with energy, different things happen.
So how much time would you say that you need to have to do energy clearing?
Can you say that again? I didn't hear the first part.
Oh yes. How much time would you say that you need to do the energy clearing before you begin to? Yes. How much time?
It really depends. It depends on what's like what space you're in. Like, is your home already, like, do you have a sacred space in your home where you're kind of continuously clearing? Do you have an altar space? Like what kind of healing space have you set up for yourself in your home? Right? And what are you doing on a regular basis? Like, for example, like I have this space that I'm in right now. This is what I had as my meditation yoga room. So when I come into this space, I don't have to do a whole lot of clearing. I still do some clearing. It might be like a minute, and I'll set the space and clear the space a minute or two. But if I'm in, let's say, the living room where more people are coming into the living room area on a regular basis, it might take me 5 minutes to clear the space, right? Because there's more energies coming into that space, right? Or if I have people came over, or if I did sessions in the space and I was dealing with some energy that somebody was carrying, whether it's trauma or a spirit attachment, things like that, then I have to take a little bit more time to clear the space.
Okay.
So it really just depends on what you're dealing with, your space. I mean, even sometimes the land that our home is on. Sometimes we don't know that we're, for example, like, I mean, in many places in the United States, there are burial grounds underneath our homes and we don't even realize it. So then we're dealing with the energy of, you know, dead spirits.
Oh,
And then that's a whole nother, like I have a friend that lives, well, her house is on like reservation tribal land, and it's like, it's never ending, the amount of clearing she has to clear all the time. Because
Or if you live in an apartment and your neighbors are not, you know, have not very clear energy.
Yep.
Right? You have to set up for, you know, protect and clear from them.
Exactly, yeah. Neighbors, your neighborhood, what's going on in your neighborhood, all those kinds of things are going to influence how long or how easy it is to clear a space in the space that you're in. Yeah. And it's not like, none of this is coming, I hope that it's not coming from, or that you're feeling like any kind of fear, or it's not, like I don't have any fear around any of this stuff. So if you have fear coming up right now as I talk about these things, that's a sign for you to see that there's some healing for you to do. Because they're just like, I mean, it's not anything to be afraid of. It's just that we have to learn, how do we navigate it? How do we deal with it? Do we have the skills, the tools, and the resources to address it? Do we not? Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. And that's where the community comes in, because maybe you don't, but somebody else in the community does. And that's why we need each other. Because we all have different skills. Like one of my main callings is to work with transitioning. So like grief and loss and trauma. So I work with a lot of spirits in transition, dying, about to die, crossing over. I tend to do that work a lot. So it's like whatever it is your energy is calling you to do. So maybe that's what it is for you. Maybe it's something different.
I tend to think about it as like, as if I'm in a noisy place and I just need to put some soundproofing around, right? So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna put soundproofing around me, you know, so my space is nice and quiet to do this. So it just has my energy in it.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, I know you use like golden spheres. So golden spheres, bubbles of light. We create like a cocoon, and we're inside of the sphere. And within our sphere, we're doing our healing work. And I decide what comes into the sphere, right? So I only allow things that are in alignment with the highest vibration to be in my healing space, and nothing else can come in. So it's like, an impenetrable force field, and I get to choose what goes in. And so things are going to come out, like I said, like attachments, spirit attachments, entities, things like that. Yeah. Any other thoughts? And we're going to do a little bit of meditation and self Reiki practice for a little while, but I want to give us a chance to talk a little bit more. Okay, this is a good time for us to introduce ourselves a little bit more and just share your intentions. After I shared with you a little bit about what my intentions are, what I am wanting to offer to all of you. And of course, like this space right now that we're creating, time feedback, getting support, answering questions as you're working with each other over the next couple of months, like things that you came across, like, this happened. What was this? Like, I felt this. I don't know what that was, like where you get to have like a sounding board, I guess, and just share, like, I had this experience. Like one of the first times I was giving a treatment actually to my mom when I was a very new Reiki practitioner. I was giving her a treatment. I had my hands over her eyes and I'm just doing Reiki. I wasn't thinking anything. And interestingly, I had the door open. We were right by the front door. So I'm giving her Reiki and I'm just doing my thing, have my eyes closed. And then suddenly I hear a sound. I hear poof, and I open my eyes and I look. And I saw my mom's shirt lift up, like in that poof, it was a poof. It went up, her shirt literally lifted up. And then I saw something go out the door. And I wasn't thinking, oh, I'm clearing a spirit attachment or an entity. I wasn't thinking any of those things. It just happened naturally. But that was my first experience. And I'm like, what was that? And I didn't really ask any more questions because once something like that leaves, it's like, okay, thank you. I'm glad you're not there anymore. And I don't need to ask any more questions because then when we ask more questions, when somebody's already left, then we're kind of inviting it back in, right? We don't want to do that. Just thank you. Thank you for leaving. And so things like that happen, or people's limbs, like sometimes limbs go flying, like, and it's just, trauma that's stored in the body that needs to release. So it's just energy moving. So,
Wow.
okay. So tell me who you are and tell us all who you are and what your intention is, what you want out of this group, why you're here. Anybody can start. Alex.
I'm Alex. I'm from Melbourne, Australia. I finished Karuna Reiki in April this year, and I usually practice about once a week for the past year or so since I started studying Reiki. My intention is to gain more experience, have more confidence, and just be more knowledgeable about Reiki. I haven't, I just need to be more knowledgeable, like explaining Reiki to the client.
Yes. Yeah, so actually that's part of it too. When you start working with each other, part of what I'm going to create is you're all going to do a little mini interview with each other as part of it, as if it was a real session with the person that you don't know. It's like, what do you ask? Right? How do you start? How do you meet somebody and get set up with the session? So you'll be doing little mini interviews with each other.
Yeah,
Well,
that'd be good.
yeah. Well, I'm glad to have you, Alex, and I'm glad you're here and joining us.
Thank you.
Alex, do you do this professionally on a regular basis or just doing friends and family?
Just a Reiki buddy. So she gives me Reiki and I give her Reiki.
Awesome.
Oh, that's cool.
That's
Yeah.
really good.
So I'll go next. I'm Mary. I've been doing Reiki for about 4 years. So I'm a Karuna Holy Fire Reiki Master. Just been also learning Sechem, which is Egyptian based Reiki, also a little more Egyptian symbolic things. And on a life spiritual journey, and Reiki's really increased that spiritual journey for me in many, many ways. And it's been incredible. Incredible. And then I want to just say, when you get to be master, that means kind of like maybe you got your diploma in college, but you really know nothing about doing it in the real world. So, so it continues to evolve. And my intention is to share the healing and the love and the peace that is actually available to everybody, to help everybody just be a little happier and more joyful and feel better and pain-free. So I'm sorry, in the clinic, to be of service for me, this is very much a be of service in Reiki, to help others, and then also they help me in doing that. It helps me.
Mhm. Yeah, it's like it's ever evolving. It just keeps growing. My new mantra with Reiki is it's the gift that keeps giving.
Okay, Carla's going next.
Carla says, my name is Carla and I live in Washington State. I want to be here since I love helping people, so I feel like I'm a healer. You are a healer. I want to develop to become a better person. Yes. My energy is getting high, so I'm learning how to control and all. Yes.
That's big, yes.
Yeah, so many, that's another thing that's, I mean, with all the changes that we're going through, it's like a lot of us that are very sensitive, we're just getting amped up with energy, with downloads, with information from the universe, from our guides, from our ancestors. And they're like, we need you, you need to get on board and start doing your healing work. So yes, Carla, welcome. I'm glad to have you here in the group and sharing and your energy.
I'll go next. Excuse me, my name's Lisa. I'm in the LA area. I became a Reiki master this last January. But I've known about a connection to energy with everything since I was very young. I want to be involved with the clinic because I think it's an awesome idea. I want to be a part of it. Like Mary, giving to others is also receiving. I'm not doing it so I get something back. It's just an extra big bonus. I want to become stronger and more confident. And I am on a learning journey. If only I didn't have to go to work. I could spend more time studying. Anna has been very patient with me with my learning, and I appreciate that. And I hope to be able to be there for whoever needs it.
Beautiful. Thank you, Lisa. Welcome. Yes. So much learning happening. You're just a sponge right now.
I am. Call me SpongeBob.
Well, glad for you to be here, Lisa. And Liliana.
Okay, sorry. I was waiting for Lisa to finish. I didn't want to interrupt her. My name is Liliana. I live in the San Diego, California area. And I initially, when I first did Reiki, I mean, I know the people that do Reiki, but I've never discussed Reiki with them because it was in another energy healing class, but we never talked about Reiki. I just know that they're Reiki, I guess they're called Reiki, what did they say they're called? They're Reiki practitioners. So I'm assuming, I'm not sure if that's what the end goal is. If once you do 1 and 2, is that considered a practitioner? Or is that because, okay. So yeah, they're practitioners. But I never really discussed it about what it was. So my intention is to learn more about Reiki. So that way, when I do tell people that want healing, more information on it, so that way they can trust me to give them healing. And that's something that's my intention, to learn more about it and how to talk to people about it, so that way they understand what it is and what it means. Because I have a lot of relatives and people that they feel like anything outside of their religion is kind of, bad. That's just how they are. So I kind of want to know how to talk to them about it to be able to receive healing. So that's something very important for me. And also knowing other people in the community. So that way, like you said, we can help each other. So that's important to me too. I want to be a part of a community as well.
Hey, glad to
Oh,
have
and I also want to, when I found out about the class, I found out that you can also heal the planet. I always thought it was just healing one another, like humans, but I didn't know that you can heal animals. You can heal the planet as well. I didn't know that until I started this class, and I was like, oh wow, I was like, I want to do that as well.
Yeah, totally. I mean, that one of the things, that's why I asked you all in the survey about how many hours of animal Reiki have you practiced, because I'm a big animal lover, and I practice Reiki with all my animals, and my animals all love Reiki. And I'm also like the same thing with transitions. I've helped a lot of animals transition as well. So, and I've had a chance to work on horses as well with Reiki, and that was, I want to do that again, but they're just, I mean, just magnificent heart generators, and just beautiful to be able to work with horses and Reiki. So yeah, there's a whole world. And of course, yes, healing the planet. Like when we do on the Reiki share, we can send healing to the planet, to the water, to nature, to whatever, to everything. We can send healing energy to all of it. So it's not limited. Reiki is unlimited universal life force energy. That's the kind of the translation of Reiki. And the only thing that limits it is our own mind. Right. And sometimes a lot of times our mind is very limited and limiting. And we think that we can't do things that we can actually do just because our mind puts that limitation, right? But when we're working with Reiki, we're working in we're working in the quantum field. Right, so we're breaking through barriers of time and space reality. And so it's like with our intention, with our focus and our visualizations, is if we can see a person fully whole and healed, we use that to support their healing journey. Now, we can't change if something is in somebody's path and their karma, it's part of their contracts that they've made. We may not be able to change the trajectory of something that is meant to happen, but we might be able to, because maybe we can create an alternate path, right? So I'm always open to the possibility, and yet some things are just how they're meant to be, right? Some things just are how they are, but we can put in our part to create changes, to create ripples. It's like you throw a pebble in a water, we make a change, right? However, we see that change, but we're making a change. So, any other thoughts, questions, comments, how you're feeling right now before we go into a little meditation?
I guess in the Reiki share, we try to be very plain and simple. And we don't talk much about like spirits and spirit guides and other dimensions and stuff. So how, that stuff tends to come in when you're getting more deep into Reiki. So how pure, I guess I'm trying to add, how pure to strictly Reiki do you want this to be?
It's gonna be open. I mean, it's gonna be open. We're definitely, we'd really want to clarify what is Reiki and what is not Reiki, right? Like, because we want everybody to have an understanding of what is Reiki, right? And because once we start putting other things into it, then it gets confusing. Like, well, is that Reiki or is that not Reiki?
So I guess, so for an example is when I do clearing and I set a space, like I have a spirit team that I ask to come in. And that's how I practice Reiki. Although a spirit team is not strictly required for Reiki. So I guess that's, is it okay to talk about spirit teams?
Yep, it is, because the thing is that well, me and who I am, like I've practiced so many different modalities that I'm bringing all of that with me. And I'm not really great, honestly, at what's that word? Compartmentalizing. I've never really been great at that. So this is an integration. It's an opportunity for us to go deeper. It's a place for us to talk about those other aspects that maybe we might not talk about in a strictly Reiki circle, because these are things that come up. Like, that's the reality, right? Like, even if we're only training in Reiki, we might need our spirit team to come in and help us do something, because that's who we are, right? Because it's like who you are and what your gifts are and who your team is going to come in to the picture regardless, right? Like you can't really say like, oh, I'm doing Reiki and my spirit team is not part of Reiki, so you're not invited to come into this healing space right now. Right? I mean, we can't really separate. So I think in this group, we're opening, we're expanding, we're making space to have those kinds of conversations. And I think that's going to be a lot of growth for all of us.
Good, thank you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, because I think all of you have a spirit team. All of you already have one. And it's, well, how can you use it? And how do you invite it to come and help you? And so maybe what you just shared right now, Mary, about your team is going to help everybody. Just to even have that in your awareness, like, oh, like who's my team? Who are my spirit helpers that come in and help me do my healing work? Because you all have that. You each have that.
Do we all have the same amount of spirit team numbers, or is it like a number, or is it like different numbers everybody has? Oh, okay.
And they come and go, depending on where you are in your growth. I mean, my experience is they switch out as I continue to grow. I kind of outgrow some, or I've learned the lessons that team has for me, and time to get new teachers.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So they'll change, and and you can call different ones in for different reasons, and Like for me with my shamanic training, I'm always working with spirit animals, and you'll hear me talk about them because they're very present in my life. I mean, I see them. I call them in and they come in and they help me. Like right now I'm working with hummingbird, and I'm seeing hummingbirds all over the place. So, so it'll be, kind of for you to make space to think about that and to explore that and to call them in, invite them to show themselves to you in a way that you will understand. And the thing with our guides is that we have to call them in. We have to invite them in to assist us. They are not just going to come in because we have free will, and they're not going to do anything against our will, right? If we don't call them in, they can't really assist us. They're there, but they're not going to intervene because we have free will. And when we call them in, then you're giving them permission, and then they're like, okay, now we're going to do a little bit more for you. Of course, they're always watching out for us, but how much they can assist us depends on how much awareness we have about calling them in and working with them.
That's been one of my biggest learnings, is to call them in and how to do that effectively.
Mm-hmm. And calling in the highest version of them too, the highest expression of them, because there might be different forms of our guides, and we want to call in the highest expression of our guide. And there's all kinds of little tricks. Spirits sometimes that trick us. So that's where the clarity and the clearing comes in.
They can be very literal. So it's not necessarily your intention sometimes.
Yes. Okay, well, we have about half an hour left. Let's do a little bit of meditation, breathing, and then a little bit of self-Reiki practice today. I know Liliana is going to work with me to get attuned. Everybody else is attuned. And I do want everybody to be attuned for this experience. But I know I've already received some healing from Liliana in our Reiki shares, and her energy is very strong. So I know you're connected, you're connecting, and you need a little bit more support to maximize your strength. So let's go ahead and find a comfortable seated position and find your favorite meditation posture. I'm sitting on the ground, and so if you're sitting on the ground, find your sits bones. So pull that fleshy part from beneath your bottom, and that allows you to have a more elevated spine. So lengthening your spine, imagine a cord, a beam of light pulling you from the top of your head, the top of your crown, from the bottom, from your root, just below the coccyx perineum area. Imagine another cord, a golden cord connecting you to Mother Earth, anchoring you into Mother Earth. The golden cord above your head is connecting you to source energy, the cosmos, Reiki energy. So setting the intention to connect. So take a few breaths, inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose. Draw your awareness to your third eye, and take your tongue to the roof of the mouth, just activating those chakras, aligning your energy centers by doing that. And we're going to do a little bit of clearing here. So inhale, keep inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. We're going to do a little bit of a chakra clearing alignment. Inhale through the nose. Allow your chest to open, your heart to open. Shoulders are down and back, away from the ears. Opening the spine. lengthening the spine, opening your mind, opening your chakra centers to be cleared and balanced and aligned. So bring your awareness to your root chakra. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. And visualize a red sphere at the root. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose. And with the next few breaths, visualize that red sphere circulating, becoming more clear, more balanced, more circular, more round with each breath that you take. And as you do that, the red color becomes more vibrant, more brilliant, more beautiful. So with that visualization, clearing and harmonizing and balancing that root chakra, breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. And keep that breath going throughout this practice. Now bring your awareness to your sacral. So this is a couple, 1-2 inches below the navel. So in Reiki, we call it the hara. In my Reiki lineage, we call it the hara. In Tai Chi, I also studied Tai Chi, they call it the dantian. It's not exactly the same place, but it's around the same place. So this is our power center. And here we have the orange. So imagine the color orange and a sphere that's perfectly round, balanced, and circulating at a speed and frequency that's in harmony with your root chakra. So for this, we're tasking our higher wisdom to do the work of knowing exactly what that is, right? What shape, what frequency, what's the right color for you. This is in alignment with your higher wisdom, your spirit, your body, where you're at right now. So inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose. And as you breathe, that chakra becomes clearer and clearer and brighter. So that orange becomes a more beautiful, more vibrant, more brilliant color, maybe even translucent. And it's operating in rhythm with your root chakra. So one by one, we're going to balance all of them. So take a couple of breaths there. Just allowing for that to happen. And you can do this little practice every day. And then bring your awareness up to the solar plexus. So that's about 1 or 2 inches above the belly button. And here we have yellow. So you can imagine like the color of the sun or a beautiful yellow sunflower, whatever color yellow resonates with you. So with the next few breaths, imagine that chakra moving in a circular spherical form, and as it does, becoming rounder, more brilliant, more harmonious, and in alignment with the sacral and root chakra, so that they're all vibrating at the same rhythm and frequency, and what's in alignment with your higher wisdom and your body and what you need right now. So inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose. Just keep visualizing that solar plexus becoming clearer and clearer and clearer. So the chakras our chakras become the way that we interact with our physical world. So they help us transform, transfer, transmute energy. So they're kind of like, in a way, like energetic shields that take on whatever it is that we're facing. So it goes into our chakras, and then some things will get stuck in our chakras and it becomes like sludge. Our chakras become, it's almost like, if your car needs an oil change, like if you haven't changed the oil for 30,000 miles, it just gets, it's going to get clogged up. The oil is going to be dark and dirty. So that's what happens with our chakras. It's like they're busy working, and they get sludgy, they get, they start to get slower. So we need to continuously clear, especially when we're doing energy work. So here we're spending a little bit more time because some of us here have a little bit of a sludginess in our solar plexus. So just empowering and clearing and bringing that awareness of self-empowerment, self-healing, confidence, letting go of ego attachments, letting go of hurts or pains or whatever is trapped in the solar plexus right now for you. Just energetically visualize. You can even visualize water coming in to help you clear it. Or if you have a crystal that you're working with nearby, let the crystal help you clear it. And I have crystals here, so my crystals can help as well. So keep breathing. Inhale. Maybe inhale through the nose and exhale out of the mouth this time, just to push that energy out. Just keep visualizing brilliance, the sun energy, like a beautiful sunrise or a beautiful sunset, those vibrant colors illuminating and clearing that solar plexus chakra. Moving that energy out of your body, and just remember that you're connected to the earth, you're connected to the cosmos. So maybe some of this energy that's in your solar plexus right now needs to go out to Mother Earth. All of our experiences are lessons, so let that energy drop down through that cord that we visualize coming out of your root, and let it go down as a lesson to Mother Earth, a lesson coming from you, from your higher wisdom, blessed with your love, gratitude, and forgiveness for any pain that you caused or any pain that was caused against you. Just breathe that out. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Or maybe it needs to go up to source energy to be transmuted into something different, some other form that's better and a higher vibration. Or maybe your guides need to take it and convert it to something different, something better, always something better, something lighter. Breathe in through your nose, exhale out of your mouth, pushing that energy out. So allow that solar disk to radiate beautiful, brilliant, radiant light shining out from your solar plexus, illuminating your sacral, your root, down to your feet, moving up. So when we're practicing Reiki, we want to be like a hollow bamboo, right? Hollow bamboo, clear, open, allowing clear, radiant energy to come into our being. and any stagnant, distorted energy to be released to Mother Earth or to Source to be converted and transferred into something better. So a couple more breaths there. Open your heart, just let it go, whatever it is. No judgments, no criticisms, just letting it go. Let that chakra be illuminated with beautiful, radiant, vibrant light, luminous, golden energy. Now bring your awareness to the heart. So at the heart, we have this beautiful green emerald. So imagine this sphere of emerald light circulating in a spherical fashion, becoming rounder, clearer, more brilliant with every breath that you take. Let that heart shine forward. Let the heart shine forward. And remember that you are a generator of love. You generate love. And Reiki is love. Reiki is another expression of love. And Reiki reminds us how to love ourselves and to love others unconditionally. Oh, unconditional love. So let that chakra radiate out, balanced, perfectly round and circular and in alignment with the other 3 chakras, the lower chakras. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out of the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out of the mouth. Making our way up to the throat chakra. So here we have a blue. So think about maybe the ocean, or it could be a sky blue, or whatever blue comes into your vision. Let that blue get brighter and brighter with every breath that you take. Let that chakra become rounder and rounder, spinning in rhythm and in frequency with the other chakras that we just went through. Take a few breaths. Our throat chakra is our ability to communicate, express ourselves, share love, words of love, prayers, our thoughts, our ideas are expressed through our voice. And interesting, my voice is starting to crack here. So one thing with Reiki and being a Reiki teacher is that Reiki will keep working on our vocal cords so that our voice itself becomes a path for healing. Right? So our voice, how we express ourselves, our words, just the sounds that come out of our mouth to be vehicles for healing. So visualize your throat chakra becoming more brilliant, more blue, more clear, and perfectly round, spherical, and in alignment with the previous chakras that we just went through. And of course, there's more chakras than just these. There's actually thousands of chakras throughout our whole body, but these are the main. And then next time we'll go through 13 chakras. But right now we're going to do the 7. So just keep breathing and make space for your voice to shine out, for you to be clear in how you express yourself, to be authentic and hold your words with integrity. Now bring awareness to the third eye, so space between the eyebrows here. And here we have a violet or indigo or purple. So just allow that color to come into your mind's eye. And see that chakra spinning with vibrancy, with clarity. and in rhythm, in alignment, in frequency and harmony with all the other chakras before it. So open up your mind and allow yourself to connect with Reiki energy through this chakra, through your mind's eye, through your third eye, through your wisdom. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out of the mouth. And let all of those chakras vibrate, feel that flow of energy. I know I'm feeling it. Just feel that flow of energy. Could feel like a little bit of air blowing up, like a little bit of wind, just clearing, bringing all of your chakras into alignment. And then bring awareness now to the crown. So around the head, maybe a couple inches above the head. And again, we have like a violet, bright purple. And again, imagine that sphere rotating, circulating, opening, releasing any residual toxic energy, any negative thought patterns or ideas that are not in alignment with your highest and best good. Breathing them out. Inhale. Exhale. And see the crown chakra rotating in alignment and harmony with all of your chakras. Take a few breaths to allow that process. And now we're going to imagine a golden spear birthing out of our sacred heart, so our thymus, so the space between our throat and our heart. We have our thymus, our sacred heart chakra. So imagine a golden spear popping out of that sacred heart. And we're just going to pour anything else that's in our body that doesn't resonate with us, that's not in alignment. Just pour that into this golden spear. Maybe there's something in the back of your head or your shoulders, pain or discomfort or some kind of suffering or dis-ease that's in your body or in your mind, or maybe even in your spirit or your emotions. Just let it pour out into this sphere. Take a few breaths to let that happen. And we'll take a moment to bless this sphere, just your own prayer of blessing, gratitude, love. Thank you for all the lessons and experiences that brought me to this moment and that I am now releasing, letting them go, blessing them, and sending that sphere. We're going to send that sphere either to Mother Earth or to Source. So just task your higher wisdom for it to go wherever it needs to go, to be transformed, transmuted, released for something better, something more beautiful and divine. With gratitude and grace and ease. And then last step here, we're going to imagine ourselves surrounded in a golden sphere. So just imagine yourself inside of a golden sphere, just allowing yourself to bask in golden energy right now. Take a few breaths. And just let that golden energy, as you breathe in, imagine it coming in through your nose. And as it goes into your throat, into your lungs, into your organs, illuminating every cell in your body to the smallest organ, to the spleen, the pancreas, the kidneys, the liver. I'm probably missing some organs, the intestines, the heart, all the organs. Just imagine golden energy permeating through every organ, every cell in your body, creating this vibration of love, harmony, and self-mastery. And as we sit in this golden bubble, bring your hands together if you're not already there. So bring your hands to heart. We're going to practice the precepts here, the Reiki precepts. These are our foundation for Reiki practice. Just for today, I let go of anger. Just for today, I let go of worry. I honor my teachers, my friends, my relatives, my guides. I honor all those that came before me. I offer compassion to myself and to others. I am grateful and I practice this daily. Take a few breaths and just soak that in into your heart, into your mind, into your spirit, into this golden sphere that you're in. Just for today, I let go of worry. Just for today, I let go of anger. I honor my teachers, my guides, all my relations. I hold compassion for myself and for others, and I practice this daily with gratitude. We'll do that one more time. Just for today, I let go of anger, I let go of worry. I hold compassion in my heart for myself, for others. I honor my teachers, and I give gratitude for all that is, for my breath, my life, my body, my spirit, all my lessons. I practice this daily. Take a couple of breaths. Rub your hands together and just intuitively let your hands go to a place in your body where you need healing, where you need Reiki right now. My kidneys are calling me. So I'm going to place my hands on my kidney. So we're going to end with a little bit of self Reiki here. Just a few minutes. So continue to breathe. Being in your golden sphere. Connected with Source, connected with Mother Earth. Just letting that Reiki flow. We're gonna seal that in now. We have about 10 seconds. So if you have your own way of sealing, go ahead and do that now. And if you're not sure, then you can use this method of drawing a vertical infinity symbol, and I'll help you as well. You can draw that vertical infinity symbol to seal everything in that we just did, that you just did, that your higher wisdom did, and your guides. Just putting all of that in a space of wholeness and integration, and blessing it with love and gratitude for all that we are. Beautiful, divine beings of light. So we say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. And we just have a couple minutes left. Just if you have any comments, thoughts, or anything anybody wants to share.
For me, that was very aligning. I feel much more aligned.
It's good. I'm glad. It's definitely recommend for you to do this every day if you can. Some sort of chakra alignment and clearing for yourselves. So if you want to do this one, that's fine. Or if you want to find another one online, or if you do one with crystals, that's cool. But just for you to get in that role of clearing your own energy field, because it's important for us when we're start practicing more with others. We need to have some kind of like daily ritual. It's like brushing your teeth, but for energy workers. Right, Mary?
Yeah. Yeah. I tend to spend a 20 minutes to a half an hour in the morning, like first thing, and then I'll do at least 15 minutes at night of like self-healing. I'll connect to Reiki and then put it wherever it needs to based on the day. It's kind of, it's what if I don't do that minimally, I just don't feel quite right. Felt like I didn't take a bath that day.
Yeah, exactly. It feels like, ew, like, what am I holding on to from yesterday and whatever, or whatever spaces, because I do a lot of astral travel in my sleep. So sometimes we're doing that too. We're doing healing work in our sleep. And you might wake up exhausted and you wonder why. It's like, I slept 8 hours. Why am I still tired? Probably because you're doing travel and you're doing healing work in your sleep. I know we're pretty much out of time, but I'd love for everyone just to share a final thought, comment, something, how this was for you, and if you're excited. I'm excited.
I am excited. This was really good. That clearing, I felt it. It's like the something opened and then it moved from one level to the next, and then I felt it stronger there, and then it moved from that level to the next, and I was like, whoa, what's going on? But I really felt it. And I'm going to use that as a daily. But I'm excited. I'm excited to meet everybody and to be in this community, and to continue growing. Thank you, Anna.
Thank you, Lisa. I see Carla typing. Are you typing, Carla? Okay. So Carla learned how to cleanse the chakras, so wants to try and practice. My energy's really high. I'm like, nice, good. Good. Your eyes are more open too. Yeah. And it doesn't have to be as long as what we did, and you'll get faster at it too. And it just depends again, like there was a lot of solar plexus stuff tonight that came up. I'm not sure who was holding it, maybe a few of us.
It was me.
It was all of you. It was all of you.
It was me. It was me. I noticed that. It was like, it was hard for me to open that chakra up. And then once I opened it, it was like everything else was easier. It wasn't as hard. And like before we started, I was like tired. I don't know why. I was like it was like I felt like drained. And then after I did it, I don't feel like that anymore. Like I was just like really like, I don't know if it was just my energy and I was like really off. But now I don't feel tired like I did before. So thank you.
Sweet.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, good. About you, Alex?
Yeah, I feel great. Great. I really enjoyed that going up the chakras. And I was placing my hands on each chakra as we were going up, so that I was giving myself extra Reiki.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm just excited to about this month's self Reiki. I haven't really been doing that much self Reiki as I'd like, but I think my goal is to do like maybe an hour every day.
Sweet. Yay. All right. Well, I want to respect everybody's time. I know our time is valuable, and I appreciate all of your attention and focus and willingness, and I'm very happy to see all of you.
Carla, your heart chakra is going to keep evolving. I was like, Carla wrote in there. It's like, yeah, your heart chakra, when it gets to a level, then it seems to go to another level. So it'll keep evolving. So yeah.
Yeah, and I'm hoping too that I'll be able to offer some additional attunements through this process. So we'll see. I'm just gonna follow the energy, but I will send you the recording after it finishes, probably in a day or two. So you can rewatch. You can rewatch the chakra clearing and follow it again if you want to, or you could do it on your own. Are you attuned? Are you attuned, Carla? Have you taken the training? The Reiki 1 training? I thought you have. Yes, Reiki 1. Yeah. So I'll talk to you more because I do want you to be at Reiki 2, so you can do the distance. But we'll talk about that. I'll send you an email. Okay, so this month it will be your self Reiki practice. So yeah, Alex, if you want to do an hour a day, that's awesome. I'm just asking at least 10 hours that you log and keep track of what you feel and experience and your intentions. And then I will send you the recording, the template for your log, and then I will start working on pairing you with somebody else for the next meeting, and we'll go from there. And if anything comes up, I am here. And I just want to say thank you to each of you. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Carla. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Liliana. And thank you, Alex. And for the other people that couldn't make it tonight but want to participate also, thank you also. Have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day, night, evening, whatever time zone you're in.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much.
Have
It's a
a good
lot
night,
of
everybody.
work.
Thank you. Take care, everybody.